few other things. So Twitter now has a, we put in a little proposal for it, I think I mentioned it the other day, but it's for measuring Twitter's health, right? They want new metrics that academics or whoever proposes that they can create and run on their system and present to themselves and to the world to sort of say show how things are going. We talked about a ratioometer and an echo meter, which would sort of try to measure how divided this topic is along whatever lines. Humans are very good at finding semantic differentials and then camping out at one end, so they have someone else to argue with. But Facebook's trying to do the same thing in the sense of getting academics to engage more with their data. They've been fantastically open to advertisers, right? This has been the thing. They've just like created this sort of universe that if you want, and anyone can do this too, right? So actually academics have used this to sort of interrogate Facebook's data. You can just go in there and search, I want a certain type of person in a certain place, and da-da-da, and it'll return you numbers of those people. And then of course you would submit an ad, but you can use that to just sort of search around and see what sort of what the population is like. For example. Anyway, but if you want to actually go to Facebook and get data from them and work with them, that's much, much harder, and it's really closed down, and you kind of have to go there and you sort of leave with a little thumb drive, which has been inspected. Like that's all really secure. They don't want, God forbid an academic comes in and runs away with some data or something like that. So that's always been really tied down, but at the other end they've been sort of just like waving everyone's data around in the air and saying, give us some money and we'll cough up everyone's social information. But now they have a thing, so it's going to be separated out from them. This is the plan. It's run by, I guess Gary King is going to be sort of in charge of it. He's at Harvard. You can propose projects and the data will be, if it's agreed upon, and only academics will be deciding which projects will be suitable, so that it's an external board. So, we'll see how this works. It's a good development, I think. Potentially, you'll be able to actually get large amounts of data or access to it, and they won't review it. Right? This is a problem with a lot of. All this data is sitting out there in these big companies, and we need to everyone needs to sort of do good things to make sense of it. Certainly being used for bad in various ways, but there's one of the many problems is that if you find anything critical or anything kind of controversial, then it gets clamped down. I think because Facebook is not particularly on its game at times, they've nevertheless published things like the emotional contagion work, which was just absolutely terrible. And then they had one recently, which was, here we looked at all the posts that people never sent, which is just an amazingly wrong thing to do, right? So I guess ethically they didn't show any of the posts, but they analyzed all the content and so on and so on and so on. It's like, that's just amazing. We have a funny. Twitter has a funny thing. If you delete a tweet, right, which wasn't even a feature, I think, early on. There's no way. I'm sure it wasn't. At some point, you became able to delete a tweet. So with that, what you get, we get 10% of all tweets that are streaming in. We also get these little packets now and then that just say, this tweet is deleted. So in principle, you have to, check that it's alive and so on. And that's why it's really always, if you're doing things in good faith, to embed someone's tweet, right? You should never really put tweets in papers unless they're super famous tweets. But it gives them the chance to delete them. And now the way it works with academic publishing is that you submit all of the message IDs for the tweets that were in your study, which is that was a good solution to this problem of not being able to share the data. We could say, we collected tweets in this time or whatever, and it's, no one can reproduce it, right? But it also means that if someone's deleted a tweet, then you won't get it, which is good. Anyway, so these are just interesting, important things, I think, about trying to make the world a better place. All right, so good.